Hello, dear friends. Have a magnificent year and enjoy all the wonderful things that await you. Opinion piece. Year of Fire. Reset year. Reckoning. Identity reset. End of an era. New beginning. Time of dreams. Energy cleansing. Dimensional shift. End of old energy. Window of change. Uncharted territory. Inner transition. Embodied spirituality. Portal of manifestation. How to align with 2026. Signs of an ending cycle. It will not be a gentle year. Let's start. The year of the fire horse 2026 symbolizes passion, courage, leadership, and intense transformation. It can be understood as a year of profound identity reset and greater responsibility for one's own life. It's not so much a gentle or contemplative year, but a time of courageous decisions, where anything not aligned with the soul will tend to break free. A reset year refers to a period of profound restart, where completed cycles are cleared to make way for new beginnings, aligned with a spiritual purpose. It involves letting go of the old, such as stagnant emotions, repetitive patterns, or misaligned relationships, through a conscious pause like a tabula rasa or a blank slate that allows for rebirth with greater clarity and fresh energy. This implies an energetic cleansing with the removal of internal blocks, such as fear or excuses, to create an empty space where authentic intentions can germinate. It's not a passive year, but an active call to redefine identity, breaking inertia to flow with the universal energy of renewal. 2026 is interpreted as year one, associated with beginnings, initiative, creative impulse, and openness to a new cycle of experience. This frequency encourages taking charge of one's own life, ceasing to wait for external signs and beginning to act from awareness and intuition. It is a year that demands courage, accepting who you are, letting go of old versions of yourself, and leading to your own reality from a more authentic place, aligned with your soul. Mental clarity is emphasized as the urgency to change structures that no longer work and the need to release excuses and procrastination. The number 6 in 2026 resonates with relationships, family home, and emotional stability. So it calls for organizing your emotional life and ending lukewarm or confusing dynamics. What is healthy is strengthened, and what is broken is finally broken, not as punishment, but as alignment with more conscious and responsible relationships. The astrological readings for this period highlight the end of an evasive spirituality and the call to embody the spirit in the body, action and concrete decisions. There is talk of an identity reset, where the path no longer involves escaping the world, but rather living daily life as a spiritual practice, with coherence between what one feels, thinks, and does. Listening to intuition, making decisions even if they are frightening, and letting go of situations that have run their course are key practices for harnessing the year's energy. It is a good time to start meaningful projects, redefine one's purpose, commit to one's own healing process, and take a more active role in building a more conscious future. A difficult year. Although 2025 was a difficult year, it marked the end of an old cycle and the beginning of a new one. 2025 adds up to 9, which represents the culmination of chaos and difficulty. It was a difficult year because reality began to change. When there is more light on the planet, you see dark, negative, and terrible things. The year 2026 is one in numerology, which represents a new beginning. According to Cryon, 2025 marked the end of a cycle of chaos and great upheaval, and 26 signifies the beginning of a new stage where the light is becoming more clearly felt, even through remnants of the previous year remain. 2025 was a number 9 year, associated with completion and represented the end of a period of chaos and hardship. It was so difficult because reality began to shift with changes in work, health, relationships, and collective situations. Cryon points out that although it may seem that darkness is increasing, in reality the light has intensified, revealing the filth, corruption, and negativity that were always there but previously unseen. When the light of consciousness increases, humanity sees the filth that was hidden, both on a personal and collective level. Many reactions have been exaggerated because more people know that this is wrong and are no longer content to cover up the problems as before. End of the old energy. Cryon places all of this within a window of change that extends to 2030. Starting the end of this great transition period is approaching. Stating that the end of this great transition period is approaching, he says that 2025 was like the last great surge of old energy, the last breath of an ancient world based on old power structures that refuses to disappear. He invites us to see global crisis as signs of the end of a cycle rather than proof that everything is collapsing. There is no magical boundary at midnight. The energy of 2025 spills over into 26 for several months, but a shift toward something more stable will gradually begin to be felt. Many situations that seemed forced or undesirable in 2025 will begin to make sense, as if the purpose behind the push were finally becoming clear. Those who believe that all is lost are asked, at the very least, not to spread that pessimistic view, because there are many souls who know that something new and more benevolent is being born. It is suggested that we begin to elect leaders more aligned with the new consciousness. Cryon states that those who are alive choose to incarnate during this critical period, and he calls them old souls, missionaries of light, and spiritually mature beings. He says that benevolence comes slowly. New intentions, new inventions, shifts in consciousness, and more human structures will gradually improve the planet. What we are experiencing now is the final phase of an old world that resists leaving, and the souls who hold light and hope are the ones who will make the difference in this transition. Year of Impact. Sarah L. Haldy defines 2026 as a year of dimensional shift following the timeline split in 25. The increase in solar plasma ejections and geomagnetic storms act as portals to higher dimensions. Old institutions crumble, exposing the cabal's operation. Awakened individuals launch creative solutions in plural, based on higher consciousness, and form new earth templates. The mainstream media, which has been running the show, is trembling because they know what's coming, according to Ethan White of K-Stellar. 2026 isn't just a new year, it's the year of reckoning. The veil is being lifted, and the truth will crumble. The hidden face is over, and people are ready for the truth to be revealed. Everything that has been set in motion is bearing fruit. What is coming is far bigger than anyone could have imagined. 2026 will be the year the real action begins. The wicked have used their power to bring us to the brink of collapse, but now the tide is turning, and they know it. They are trying to cover their tracks, but they are losing their power faster than they ever imagined. Imagine a world where currency is backed by gold, where debt is eliminated, and where the power of the banking cartel disappears. They will fight tooth and nail to maintain their control of the economy, but it won't matter. A new era's prosperity will begin, and it will arrive sooner than we imagine. End of the world. The end of the world as we know it. Richard Lee Mackin Jr. stopped publishing in 2017 because he had nothing more to say. But 8 years later, he reports that the end of the world controlled by the dark side is about to arrive, and the beginning of a new world of joy, prosperity, and sovereignty. What we have all been waiting for these years begin in 2026. This will not only bring about positive changes, but it will also save our reality. This time we will be in Uncharted territory, and it will be the first time that reality's success is guaranteed. When reality collapses, so does the sky, and so does the heaven, and everything has to start anew. Now reality and the heaven will never end. We are heading toward a reality of extreme and sublime happiness, unlike anything you have ever experienced. It will be an endless upward spiral, growing and improving every day, every month, and every year. Feeling this good will seem strange, but it will be, and you will get used to it. This New Year celebration is actually the greatest time and reason to celebrate, as it will mark the final throes of the dark side's threat to our reality. However, the celebration is smaller than it should be, because only those paying close attention to what is happening know about it. Richard Lee Mackin Jr. believes that currency revaluation will occur this year 2026 without giving specific dates, but the changes will not happen before the lockdown and disclosure. They will happen right after. Many websites claim the new financial system is already here. That may be true for the bank or the country, but not for us. It only matters when the new financial system is fully operational at our level, but isn't yet. There is no need to open any wallets or accounts of any kind in advance. You can't open real accounts before this happens. We will be integrated into the new financial system after the lockdown. All offers to create wallets and accounts before the lockdown are scams. Most of the reasons for the EBS and the lockdown are obvious and easy to understand during this dangerous phase of dismantling, to neutralize the dark side's ability to cause casualties and disruption. When you have watched all the disclosure videos and come out of the lockdown, the world will be a much better and safer place. After the event, when we are in our new financial system, interest rates will fall rapidly. People will not only have money from what they received back, but they will also have access to credit at very low interest rates. Project funding will not be limited to those who trade high-value currencies, but will be available to anyone who wants to benefit others through their projects. This prosperity and freedom will lead to a baby boom, although it will seem like a resurgence of people wanting to start families. It will be because souls want to reincarnate and return to the game of life. Many souls have waited for this period of turmoil to end so they can return in physical form. The world population will increase dramatically, returning to the level it should have reached by this point in our history. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.